I'm Ethan Kwan, and welcome to part 7, woo, of 8 series on how to get started with Scratch. By now, you are a pretty experienced coder, but I'm going to be showing you a few more techniques and tricks before we move on to the platformer. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to make a score counter or a clicking counter, and finally, we're going to be making our clicker game. Okay, so first of all, what is the clicker? What is a clicker game? Well, a clicker game is a game where you could just click something, and there's not much purpose to it, but there is my project on Scratch. If you just go to my if you just go to my account, for example, that's me, that's not me. Let me just go to. So a clicker game is basically I'm just gonna and do this. So a clicker game is basically a game where you click and you get achievements, as you can see, and you can get, I'm just gonna click my way up to $100, and now you get another achievement, and now you can upgrade. I'm not going to be showing you how to do this upgrade thing. I might do that in another tutorial, but I am first going to be showing you how to make this number counter right here, because I don't see any variables here. So how did I make this? Okay, so I'm going to be showing you how to do that. Okay, so first of all, we need a costume. We need something labeled from 0 to 9. So I'm going to get a text label, and I'm just going to write out all the numbers from 1. So start off with 1, color it black, and I'm going to name this 1. Duplicate it, and you're just going to duplicate it as many times as you need, or move it around. Oh, make sure it's ordered like this. Duplicate this, 6, duplicate that, 7, duplicate that, 8, duplicate it, 9, and duplicate that. This should be named 0. Now, don't forget to change the numbers in here too. Make it 2, 3, 0. Okay, now we have all the digits of, this, right? So, first of all, where do you want this counter? Well, we can decide that in a little bit. First of all, I'm going to create the script for creating the clones. So I'm going to go to events, when green flag clicked, and repeat. How many times should I repeat? This will determine how many numbers you have. So I think 10 is a good number. If you're doing something extreme, I would say like 30. I can keep it at 30 if you want. I'm actually going to just keep it at 30. Okay. I'm going to call this, I'm going to create a new variable, delete this one. Create a new variable, call it digits. And don't forget to click for the sprite only. So at the beginning, we're going to set digits to 0. And I'm going to change digits by 1. And create a clone of myself. I think that's right. Okay, I can always check back into my other Scratch, the other one, just to be safe. Okay, so this will create many clones of itself. They'll just be all on top of each other though, so that's kind of lame. And that's not what we want. Okay, so how do we fix that? Well, we want each clone, so drag a when I start as a clone, get a forever loop. We want each clone to go to X, and we're gonna multiply its digit, my digit, by 10, and this will determine the separation of your digits. Y, and that's pretty good. And now we have all the digits going off like that. I don't think that's what we want, so I'm going to subtract a number, and this number is going to be 10 or 100. And now it'll move around. Oh, and we have to hide the original sprite. So I'm gonna show the variable, the clones, and hide the original sprite. There, nice. And I'm gonna say 200. Okay, there. And I'm gonna space it out a little bit. So 12. Yep, that's pretty good. Move it up a little bit. How do we move it up? Move this. So 160. And this one should be 240. 240. Okay, now it's in the corner. Nice. Okay, so digits times 12 minus 240 does this. Now, what we want is another variable. This variable, let's make it score. Score, right? And just set it like that. And we're gonna say first of all, set score to 0. Because we want the score to start at 0, right? And we want our number counter to check if the length of score is greater than my digits, get an if then else. If the length of my score is greater than my digits, so if digits is less than score, length of score, sorry, go to operators and length of score. This will give you the length of the score, really, or anything you put in here. So I'm just going to drag score in here and there. So length of score currently is 1. So if digits is less than length of score, then I kind of want to hide. So hide. And now we should see all of them go down? No? Well, clearly I did something wrong. Maybe if I swap them around. Oh, there. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, if digits is greater than, right. If it's less than, of course, it's always going to be true. If it's greater than, that makes more sense, right? It's 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on, right? So now we have 0. And but here's the problem. If we change the score to like 6, for example, it doesn't change, right? It doesn't change. So we have to fix that. We have to make it switch to the costume, and switch to the costume, I guess, well, we needed to switch to the exact costume, the digit costume, right? Oops, sorry. The digit costume, right? So how do we do that? Well, we can say letter digit of score. This will make it the letter digit of score. So there. Nice. And now if we change this to like 12, it'll display 12. Okay, so this is a great script, and actually we can also get rid of this show block here. We don't need it. Okay, so I'm gonna set this back to 0 at the beginning, and now we have 0. Now let's make a coin, right? And when we click it, it increases the score. So that is how you make a number counter, by the way. And I'm just gonna call it counter, and I'm going to save it to my backpack. You might not have this backpack, but it's just for saving numbers and sprites so you can use them later. Okay, let's create a coin. So I'm going to just paint a costume. So this is our coin costume, I guess. Yeah. This looks pretty bad, if I do say so myself, so we'll just stick with it. Okay, so I'm going to set the size to like 300. That's too big, like 200. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, I'm also going to center it, so move it all to the center. And I'm going to make it go to x0, y0. Now, I want to say, when green flag clicked, forever, I'm gonna name this one coin. Forever if, and we're gonna actually need an and. So an and block takes in two values right here, and these are going to be true false statements here. So if this is true and this is true, it'll spit out true. If it's anything else, it'll spit out false. So for example, if I put two equal signs here, so if I do 2 equals 2 and 7 equals 7, it'll spit out true because both of these are true. If I say 6 equals 7, which is obviously false, these are not both true, so it'll spit out false. If both of them are not true, it'll spit out false, and so on. So that's what an AND block does, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to say if mouse down, which is meaning if it's clicked, and touching mouse pointer, and we're going to need an if else. Drag that in there, and oops, there. Okay, so I'm gonna shrink that. Okay, so if touching mouse pointer and mouse down, that means if it's touching it and it's clicked. So if we click it, then I'm going to do a little animation. I'm gonna make it go up and down a little bit. So I'm gonna first of all change y by 10 and change y by -10, and I'm actually gonna wait until. And I'm gonna wait until, there's a wait until block here. So wait until not, and not basically makes a true into a false, and a false into a true. So I'm gonna just duplicate this, wait until not touching mouse pointer and mouse down, change y by -10. So now, if we look at this, we get a little animation whenever we click it. Nice. Okay, so now I kind of want to make the score go up. So I'm gonna change score by 1, and there we go. So now, whenever we click it, a thing comes up like this, and our score goes up. So we can just click this as much as we want, and we'll never get bored. Okay, I'm bored. Okay, so I got a score of 257. That's pretty good. Okay, so I kind of want a little animation to pop up whenever we click it. So I'm going to create 2 new variables. I'm going to call it xvel for x velocity for the sprite only, and another one called yvel for y velocity for the sprite only. And hide those. And I'm going to create a clone of myself, and I'm going to set the y velocity, set x velocity, and set y velocity, to, and I'm gonna get a random. So pick random for the x velocity. I'm gonna pick random -10 to 10. For the other one, for y velocity, I'm gonna pick random -5 to 10. Yeah, sure. Okay, so now each clone should have its own x velocity and y velocity. So when I start as a clone, repeat until touching edge, and after it's touching the edge, delete this clone. And while it's not touching the edge, what we want is we want it to go change x by, and then x velocity, change y by y velocity, and change, we have to change y velocity to implement gravity. We have to change y velocity by -1. And we should have our little animation. Ooh, that's a little bit too big. It works though, which is nice, but that's too big. So I'm gonna set our size to 50. How does that look? Ooh, that looks much better. Okay. And now we have coins going everywhere. Oh, and I should probably make the velocity 20 up here, so it spits out higher. I think it's going a little bit too high, so like 15. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Whee! Okay, and I kind of want it to be I kind of want it to be 0, so it always goes up, no matter what. So there we go. Okay, nice. So I'm gonna change y velocity to -1. Now, I kind of want them to fade out over time, so I'm gonna change ghost effect by 1. Just put that on top there, and we should see that they fade out over time, but you can't really see them fading out, so I'm gonna change this to like 3. Okay? And now we should see that they fade out much faster, and I think that looks pretty good. Okay, maybe a little bit slower, so like 2. Okay, so, by the way, if this is confusing you a lot, please leave feedback in the comments, and I'll probably either repost or answer them or ignore them, but probably not the last one. Okay, so this is our little coin clicker game. Okay, so today you learned how to recap. Today you learned how to create a digit counter and also how to make a coin clicker. So, thank you for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe, like, and share this channel with others. If you didn't, please do none of those things. Be honest. Okay, so thank you for watching again, and see you next time. Oh, and see how to do everything.com. Oh, and don't forget to, wow, a lot of O's. Don't forget to hit that notification bell down below, right next to the subscribe button, to not miss the last part of the series, where I will be showing you how to combine all these skills into how to make a platformer. Until then, see you at howtodoeverything.com, and see you next time. Bye.